Later, but let's jump right into waiver wires because that's what we do every Tuesday for you, the regulars that are here with us. And of course, we start with running backs.
I don't want people to feel exclusionary. I don't want people to feel like they can't join.
You're either in or you're out.
Yeah, no, you can join in the reindeer games. Like, just come in. The water's warm. There you go. All right.
Trey Benson with a tweet for James Conner. Got you for life 6, I promise. Trey Benson ready to take over this backfield after a devastating injury to James Conner. We got to hear from the quarterback of the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, on the run game moving forward.
Not only is he my teammate, I feel like that's a brother of mine. Just see him go down like that. You never want to see that. I understand it's part of the game, but it's not what it's not ideal. All the work that he puts in and just who he is as a person. You don't want to see him get hurt like that. We got to continue to go. We got to continue to get better, and we got to be able to run the ball.
Waiver wire, that was Kyler Murray, a very defeated Kyler Murray, very upset Kyler Murray. But it is Trey Benson time in Arizona. As you look at what he's done through the first 3 weeks, obviously the snap rate skyrocketed in week 3 with the Conner injury. And Matthew, that's not going to slow down anytime soon, especially against the Seahawks this week, where he is now the RB1 of this team.
Yeah, unfortunate James Conner. We love James, much like his teammates, friend of the show, been a fantasy stalwart for so many years. But so we wish him a speedy recovery. But yes, it is Trey Benson time in Arizona. And more importantly, this is one of those guys, like if you've been saving your number 1 waiver pick, if you've been saving all your FAAB money, this is the kind of player you go blow any of that on, because he's potentially a league winner. He is going to get the majority of the work for a pretty good offense. Not an amazing offense, but an above-average offense. Following James Conner's injury, he played 87% of the snaps. He had an 87% snap rate, at 50% route participation. On the season, he's averaging 6 yards per carry. There's a little bit inconsistent, Conner. Amari DiMarcardo is going to be the third down back. But still, Benson's going to get the majority of the work. Again, on a better-than-average offense. Don't know that I love the matchup this week against at home to Seattle. Then they're at Indy. Then they're home to Green Bay. Then it's a bye. So the next 4 weeks, I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, we're telling you, go pick up Trey Benson, go spend all your FAAB, everything like that. But just understand that it may be a little rocky coming over. Although I will say, listen, the Browns ran on the Packers last week. Quinshon Judkins. And again, just even if it's not the most efficient workload in the next couple of weeks because the lineups they're playing, Jay, the volume is going to be there for Trey Benson.
As you see this one from Cameron Thompson, if I'm good at running back, he has Bijan and Bucky, good for you, and need wide receiver, would Benson for Ladd make sense?
1,000%.
I honestly think that's a great trade. If you have Bijan and Bucky,
yeah, I would do that trade in a heartbeat.
On a great situation.
Yep, I'd prefer Ladd. I mean, this Cardinals offense, look, Trey Benson is going to be the featured guy in a run-heavy offense that has Kyler Murray at quarterback, which is still, for Kyler's sins, it's still a cheat code to have a running quarterback like that for rushing efficiency. And they have to run the ball because no one on the team can catch outside of Trey McBride. I don't know what's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr. or the rest of that receiving room.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a question of what type of ceiling can Trey Benson get to. I'm a little skeptical that he's going to be like a legit RB1 or anything like that, but he's going to be a guy that you're starting every week.
I don't know if their line is good enough for him to be an RB1, but the sheer volume is. I mean, this is a team in rushing attempts last year, 11th when you look at yards, 7th when you look at yards per attempt, 2nd. So, like, the offense structure, there is ability there to run the ball. And Benson's talented. Just because he's been buried, don't sleep on how talented this guy is.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some inconsistency. Like, Lawrence and I have talked about this before, but, Lawrence and I were talking to an offensive coach on the Cardinals, and we were asking him this is at the Combine, we're asking him sort of like, hey, what's the deal with Benson? And they're like, listen, if you call a play that, is supposed to get you 6 yards, Trey Benson either gets you 20 or like 3. I mean, like he's always trying to break one, which is because he's so explosive and that's exciting. But I think it's one of the reasons why, at least initially, they went with a veteran Conner who was able to execute it. But it does feel like, as we saw Benson's snaps increase, that there's a little bit more of a maturity and a little bit more patience to Benson's game, and including to the great breakaway speed and power. So we do think Benson is very talented, to your point. And the other thing that I think is interesting here, right? So you know about Trey McBride, you know about Marvin Harrison. Like, if I said, okay, who's third on this team in target share, it would probably take you a couple of guesses before you got to Trey Benson. He's got a 12.5% target share so far this year in a part-time role. He's been playing behind James Conner, and yet still he's third on the team in targets. And so now that he's going to be playing almost every down, well, I mean, again, Mercado is going to be playing, DiMarcardo, I should say, is going to be playing some third downs, but still, Anyway, an RB2 for the rest of the season with some RB1 potential upside in specific weeks. Ryan Scott asks on YouTube, how do you compare Benson between Arizona's line versus an Ashton Genty Connor Rogers?
Well, at least you've seen the Arizona line be able to run block at times, where the Raiders this year have not had one good performance of it. So I think the problem we have with the Raiders right now, too, that you can't say about Arizona through the first couple of weeks, is the Raiders have been playing in pass-heavy scripts.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in second halves where it's like, okay, time to throw the ball a million times, where Arizona, yes, they've beat up on some cupcake competition. They've had a soft starting schedule. But Arizona, at least there's balance in the scripts, or at least run heavier.
Yeah, I would still take Genty because he's Ashton Genty.
Sure, no, without a doubt.
Benson
but
is Trey Benson.
It's crazy we're having the combo.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just worry, what do you think is wrong with this Arizona offense, Connor? Because when I watch these games, they're just so stuck in the mud. There's just nothing explosive. And when there is something explosive, Marvin Harrison drops it.
Right.
So I just don't know. They don't seem to be in rhythm. Even last year, they were more, I think, effective than they have been this year.
Don't they feel like the NFC's version of Jacksonville, where you have all these big hopes? You're like, Marvin Harrison Jr. is out there. Kyler Murray's awesome.
Should work, and then it doesn't because the quarterback is underwhelming.
Because of the lack of rhythm. That was the conversation we had with Jacksonville yesterday. It feels like that with Arizona at times. But I don't know. I still have belief because there's so much talent.
Kyler drives me crazy.
I mean, drives everybody
He's
crazy.
so annoying.
Kyler drives me crazy. Like, is Kyler Murray the worst good player in the NFL? If that makes any sense at all. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly
he's
what you
the
mean.
worst good player in the NFL.
Yeah.
He drives me up a wall, and I wish I could go back in time and take back my ride or die from last year.
To be fair, he got completely screwed by his receivers against San Francisco. He played well enough to win that game. He's a fine quarterback, but he's a league average quarterback, I think, at this point, where there were hopes that he would be, a real needle mover, a top 8 guy, and I just haven't really seen that.
So the Cards schedule.
He's sort of middle of the pack. He's fine.
Yeah,
He's
very underwhelming.
border on good, but
very underwhelming.
he has the physical skills to be great, Connor.
He does, but it's just, how many years did we see the same
I
thing
know.
over and over again?
I know.
Here's Arizona's schedule. The Seahawks defense, which went absolutely bonkers last weekend, they have them on the shorter week here in Week 4. That is Thursday Night Football. Then Tennessee, the Colts, and Green Bay before the bye.
So I misspoke, obviously, Week 5, that they have the Titans, so that gets a little bit easier there. Week 6 at the Colts. Then it's Week 7 home to the Packers. So it's a little bit of an easier schedule than I initially mentioned. I forgot the Titans game. I apologize.
Yeah, quick context as well. People might be surprised. Cardinals are underdogs at home to Seattle, which isn't a great sign for where that team is right now. Now, I understand they're banged up in the secondary, the Cardinals, but Seahawks are really banged up in the secondary too. I think Seattle's just a better team than Arizona right now. Yeah.
It's a pretty thin week on the waiver wire. Again, Trey Benson is the clear, shining star of that's the guy that you go and be aggressive to go get. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotorWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto-World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.